Welcome to your 2026 Carnival Miracle full ship walking tour, and we're going to start you up on deck 11. And up here on deck 11, you see you have some miniature golf. You also have a basketball court up here. So if you're active and you like doing either one of those activities, they are free. You can come up here and have some fun doing that. Now, the little blue area that I'm walking on is a running track. So if you would like to walk on one of the upper decks or run, you can do that in the mornings. It's got some good views. You can oversee some of the lower decks, and obviously you are surrounded by water, so you get some great ocean views as well up here. All right, so let's go down to deck 10 now. So on deck 10, there's not a lot going on right here. But let's go ahead and, again, we want to cover the entire ship so you can see all the nooks and crannies. There is the fitness center. So at the front of the ship, you have the fitness center. It's behind those tinted glass windows there. And we'll get a better look at that later. But we're going to go ahead and keep looping back around here on deck 10. And you see a number of lounge chairs, so although there might not be a lot to do, you can easily find yourself a chair up here and, lounge a little bit. All right, so there is our main pool that I just gave you a peek of, or the forward pool, I'm sorry. And you'll see the main pool here shortly. And that is one of the nice things about the Carnival Miracle. It has 3 pools. At the front, the forward pool, then you have the main pool in the middle, midship, and then finally the aft pool is the Serenity deck, and for adults 21 and over. All right, so we're going to go back up here to deck 11, and that is the waterworks area. All right, and they have some younger kid waterworks and some older kids, young and old. So you could have a lot of fun. And those slides, I was told, I meant to get on them myself, but I was told they were really good. All right, so here is the highest deck. This is deck 12. It's not a very big area, but you can go up here and walk around the funnel, and look how beautiful that funnel is. Most of the funnels throughout the Carnival fleet, they're not in glass like this one is, for a big section of it. And we'll go into the steakhouse and get a better look at that from the inside. And it really is beautiful. All right. So speaking of said steakhouse, let's take a walk inside here. And there it is, Nick and Nora's Steakhouse. And we're going to go ahead and walk down here now to deck 9 and take a peek up and look at that funnel from below there. How pretty that is. All right. Now, the steakhouse, one thing people don't know is you can go to the steakhouse bar, and you do not have to have a reservation to go to the steakhouse bar. If you want to get, a watermelon martini, for example, you can go in there and do that. All right, so yes, we are on deck 9 now, the Lido deck, and we're walking through the marketplace, and there are several food places for you to eat here. The Pizza Pirate, you have the deli, you have Bonsai Sushi. Now we're at the back of the ship and the Serenity deck here, deck 9, as I said, the Lido deck. And this is for 21 and over. And one of the beautiful things about this ship is you have a pool and a hot tub for the Serenity area. And you just don't have that on most ships throughout the Carnival fleet, unless it's the XL class. You're usually not going to find yourself a ship. So there is that Bonsai Sushi that I was talking about. And then, like I said, the pizza place is back here, as well as the deli. So yeah, you can go ahead and get yourself pizza, sandwiches, whatever it is that you like. There's the deli that I was talking about, and on the other side was the pizza. All right, so we'll keep going through the Lido Marketplace. There's the Chopsticks location where you can get some Asian cuisine, family style, and they'll have it all ready for you to dish up. And here is the Blue Iguanas. We are midship now, and Blue Iguanas, the same like on most Carnival ships. You get tacos, burritos, huevos rancheros in the morning. There is the midship main deck area, and that's where all your open deck parties will be. And then right across here is Guy's Burgers, and it's a traditional Guy's Burgers. Like most ships, you know, they have the same burgers that you can get on the other ship, and that big great toppings bar that most of us enjoy, right? And here is that midship pool, close and personal. And one of the things I'll tell you on this Carnival Miracle, at least the current sailing I was on, it was not busy at all. Not busy. Here's the Red Frog Pub, and then across from the Red Frog Pub, we have the Blue Iguana Cantina. So a lot of your familiar favorites are all here, and people got to enjoy those. So again, don't be fooled by the small size of the ship by comparison to other ships through the fleet. There are a lot of amenities here that are offered. All right, and then we have the forward pool here, and again, nice size pool, and you know, plenty of seating out here. And again, I can honestly say I never came out here once where it looked super crowded. It was always as you see there. Okay, so we're gonna keep walking forward now toward the front of the ship. And I will tell you, the day that I did this, it was crazy windy. So doing a voiceover is truly the only option here. I had my girlfriend Bridget with me, and it was blowing so hard. I know you can't really tell the way the camera's going stuff. It was blowing so hard that, you know, it was blowing me sideways. And she weighs only like 125 pounds, so she was actually scared, like she was gonna get blown off the ship. But I don't mean to laugh, but it was kind of funny. All right, we're gonna tuck in here, and we're walking through the spa, which is what you have to do to get to the fitness center. That is a little odd quirk of these ships, but yeah, you actually have to walk through the spa and some of the spa treatment areas to get to the fitness center. And there is the said fitness center, and you see all the treadmills and such. And then it's also a multi-tiered fitness center. So that's why I'm walking up these steps. So they have the dumbbells and some strength training equipment up here at the top, and then we'll walk down, and there's also some in the middle there. Believe it or not, there used to be a pool in that little middle area section a long time ago, but after a couple dry docks, that was removed to make way for more fitness equipment and such. All right, so we're making our way back out the other side of the spa here. And, you know, yeah, you'll be getting your nails done or your hair done if that's something that you would like to have done. So we're looking at Lido Deck 9 and trying to figure out what we want to show you next. All right, so we're pointing that we're at the front of the ship there, as you see, which is where the spa area is. And what we have to do is we have to go down here, because I'm going to show you, for those of you that have kids, there's one deck down here where there's not a lot going on unless you have kids. We're going to take you down to Camp Ocean. So we're down to Deck 8, we're down to Deck 7, we're down to Deck 6, we're down to Deck 5. Okay, so Deck 5 is where we want to be, and we're going forward here. That's why I'm showing you otherwise just a random video footage of walking through a stateroom hallway. But on this ship, the stateroom hallway takes you to Camp Ocean, and that is where you will take your kiddos if they are younger and you want to have some fun on your own as an adult around the ship. Okay, so we're heading down to Deck 4 now, and then you see Circle C and Club O2. Those are the older kids, fun areas or clubs that you can go to. And now we're down to Deck 3, just like that. Okay, so Deck 3, this is kind of one of those hidden away areas that a lot of people don't even see while they're on the ship. But that's why you do these ship tours, so you see the number of seating areas there. A lot of people like to escape and get some work done or read a book. You see the nice views with the windows there that you can look out of. All right, so I'm just looping around here just so you can kind of get a peek at it. And then if you go towards the front there is the main theater. And from above, that's from Deck 3 there. And we're going to go ahead and come back out now. And then we go to the other side here where we find the we call it the warehouse arcade. All right, and I'll do a quick walk through here where you can see some of the games and, fun activities that you can do while you're in the arcade. The kids can take a look at and tell you what games they like. Or you can try to win one of those little stuffed animals or something. All right, so you see the design of the ship and all the artwork and things like that. I mean, some people really enjoy this, and some people it's not their taste. And remember, you're only living here for a week, so you don't have to be put off if it's not your cup of tea. It's not mine, honestly. Like, I wouldn't want all this stuff in my house, this design. But for a week, it's kind of fun. I gotta admit, I enjoyed it. But again, I wouldn't let it bother you. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going toward the midship here on deck 3, and there we won't pass the arcade there again. And over here is the piano bar. All right, so the piano bar is kind of hidden away. I didn't even get a chance to go into the piano bar except to do an interview with the cruise director, Frankie, and I feel bad about that. I feel like I should have gone to the piano bar and checked it out. Might have been a really good piano bar player in there, but we didn't do that. Here, obviously, are a number of shops. They are some of the same type of shops that you would see on most Carnival ships. You can get anything from candy to souvenirs to, fine jewelry, if that's your thing, and perfumes and colognes, that type of thing. So we're walking now toward the midship area, and we're going to keep walking. There's the Pixel Studio area, and this is one of the ships where they have the old school real pictures. So if you stop to get your picture taken and you decide you want to purchase that picture, you would come to this area. All right, so we're going past the Bacchus bar there, and they'll have some things set up there, so just keep that in mind. All right, now we are walking to the dining room, and this is at the very back of the ship, and you see all the whimsical colors and design features of the dining room. This is on deck 3 overlooking deck 2. And so some good views, and it's a rather large restaurant for a smaller ship. All right, so again, we were on deck 3 here, and we're gonna go ahead and go outside because this is an area I feel I have to show you. This is accessible for everybody. I just walked out the doors, as you saw. I didn't jump over any barricades. And look at how close we are to the water. And you can go all the way to the back of the ship and take in some views like this right here. Look at that. All right, so let's turn back around, and we're going to head toward the midship area once again. And again, this ship will often go to Alaska for the summer. And this is an area, especially if you have an interior cabin, that you can really enjoy and get out and get close to the water. Okay, so we're back in here on deck 3, and we're going to head down to deck 2 now because there's a lot of stuff going on down on deck 2, which you will see here now. All right, so we're down on deck 2, and we were more toward the forward of the ship, forward midship, and here we have the Alchemy Bar. All right, waving at Ivan there, and I'm sorry, we're at the back of the ship now, and we're more midship, walking in the midship direction here, and at midship here we have the atrium bar, and look at this atrium. Just look up here at how beautiful that is. Wow, look at that with the glass elevators, and that's what some of the newer ships miss, is beautiful atriums like this with the beautiful glass elevators. But if you come on the older ship like the Carnival Miracle here, you can get to see that yourself. So that is something to behold. All right, you have the shore excursions desk right in front of me there that I just turned away from. And what was off in the corner there was guest services. Okay, I know you just got a quick glimpse, but that's the location of it if you need to handle any problems with guest services. Obviously, we are walking into the casino now. You see all the slot machines. On your left, you have all the table games and such there. You're not really supposed to be recording in the casino. That's why I'm just kind of quickly walking through it instead of giving you a better look. But we're walking toward the forward again, and we're going to come into the Heroes Tribute Bar. This used to be the Skybox Sports Bar, but now they renamed it in honor of all our wonderful military veterans. And then we're going right next to that is the Red Frog Pub, and look how massive this Red Frog Pub is. They do a lot of live music there, and the band plays there often. All right, that is the Java Blue Cafe right there on my left. So if you want your gourmet coffees or milkshakes or whatever. Now we're heading towards the theater, and look at that little arrow there. That is pointing out the Mad Hatter Lounge. That's where they do all the comedy, stand-up comedy and such. So that's where you'll head if you're going to go to that. But here is the main theater. Of course, they have bingo going on now, but this is where you'll come for your playlist productions. And you know what, folks? That is it. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe.